Hi guys, so it's day 2 of brooding. Day 2, and yesterday was largely uneventful. It was just a beautiful brooding day. Nothing unexpected. But first, I'll show you a bit of what we are doing around our chicken house. We've already planted a garden over here. You can see it on the side of the chicken house. We planted a garden to grow vegetables. It's the rainy season, and as you can see, it actually just finished raining maybe an hour or so ago. And you can see that our vegetables are already started to sprout. You can see right there, yeah? And you see the small tiny white things on the ground over there. That's our vegetables sprouting. So this is going to be a vegetable garden over here. And right here we have some solar panels. Last night we had a power problem around the area. Not last night, but the whole of yesterday. Just yesterday morning, someone vandalized the electricity line. Up you can see the pole. There's an electric pole right there in the distance. Yeah, there's a line that had been actually just put here recently because there was no electricity on this property. So we had to get 2 electric poles to bring the electricity over here. And as soon as they connected, there was power, but then someone vandalized the electricity nearby. And that meant that yesterday I was going to brood with no electricity. I tried using torches, some bright torches, but in 2 hours they were done. So it was going to be impossible. Luckily enough, I have an uncle who actually had solar panels nearby. 2 nice solar panels and solar batteries. We'll go up the ramp so that I show you exactly where the solar batteries are. But then we're already using the upper section of the house. You can see my dad had grown maize nearby. You can see maize over there. And just above the banana plantation, there is maize over there. And it was harvested and it was put up here to dry. So maybe a few weeks and it will be completely dry and be ready to be processed. And right here you can see our solar batteries. So these are the solar batteries, and you can see the electric wire that's actually going down to the solar panels. So these are what are being charged, and they are giving us electricity. So the birds are doing well, and I'm not complaining. Yesterday they actually ate way less than I expected, but it's understandable. It was the very first day. They're just picking up and learning how to eat. So ideally they ate about 10 kilos. Expect them to eat about 22 kilos, but well, that's an average for the first week. So that's not a worry. They were just learning how to start eating. Today they are eating way more. I'll be able to tell that from the report tomorrow. But instead they ate just 10 kilos. It's because they are still figuring out what food is. They still don't know what food is. And they're just a day old. The mortalities, we had about 14 birds dying. Yes, 14 birds in total, because I think in the first video I told you guys that there were 5. And then we had a few more. But literally all the birds that were died were culls. Now culls are birds that should not be sold. So this is what happened. When the birds hatched, I rushed quickly to the hatchery because I needed to make sure that I bring them to the farm as early as possible. I wanted to travel in the times of the day when it's really cold. So I picked them up at about 2 a.m. And at 2 a.m. they were certainly not ready. They had just been hatched. So I picked out the birds, told them to vaccinate them, and it was in a rush. I got them and took them. So we didn't give time for the people at the hatchery to actually select out the birds that are supposed to be culled. Yeah. So the birds that are supposed to be culled, you're supposed to pick them out. All the birds that have nevels that haven't healed are not supposed to be given to the clients. But well, since I was in a rush, we didn't have the time to do that. And so all the birds that are actually dying are birds that have nevels that didn't heal. And that's very understandable. It's because I rushed them. And I, of course, made sure that I compensated for that eventuality. So there were extra birds placed in. Instead of 2,500, I got almost 2,600 birds because I knew we're going to have those eventualities since the birds were not selected. So it's not a big issue. 15 birds dead on day 1 out of 2,600. Not bad. Of course, we are still having a few of them being identified at the moment. A few culls being identified at the moment. They'll slowly come out with time. Throughout the first week, we'll keep losing a few like that since we didn't select them. And then those will be done. So let's go inside because today is day 2. And I'll show you guys exactly what's happening on day 2. It's been a cold day, not an ideal day for me, because that means that even during the day I'm having to use a lot of charcoal. If it was a hot day, I wouldn't need to use a lot of charcoal. And you can see that our sides, the side of the structure, are literally closed up. And those sides are closed up because during daytime, if you open it up, all the heat is going to escape. Now inside there is going to be dark, so you're going to forgive me I want to put the birds under a little bit of stress. I'll open the curtains just a little bit so that we have some light inside and I can show you guys what's happening. Otherwise, without the light, the whole place is going to look red and funny. So we're going to lift them up a little bit and I'll show you guys exactly what's happening. All right, our food dip with no boots in for obvious reasons. I believe I explained that in the previous video. And this is our entrance, improvised entrance, and you can see right now. Okay, so we have some light in because I've opened the curtains. And you can obviously see that the birds are a bit more active. You can see them running away. Some of them are running towards me because I'm talking. Others are running away to the corners. This is our stove. I believe in the previous video I didn't share it very well. It wasn't seen very well, but you can see it over here. So we have a flip here which you can open and close depending on how hot it is inside. And then you can see that we have fire inside to keep the place warm. The place remains nicely warm when the curtains are completely down, you know, on the sides, and the curtains are completely down. It's really warm inside here. I'm actually already feeling quite stuffy. You can see our birds over here. So we have our water. You can see a chick drinking water over there. You know, it's quite brave. It's not running away like everyone else. Everyone else is just moving around her. Take a look at that. Ah, she has finally also left. So twice every day we make sure that we place water inside the place because the water gets dirty. Once the birds are running around, they step inside the water. So you need to make sure that you clean it and replace it twice a day. So every morning and every evening we put clean fresh water. The other thing you need to remember is that inside here is quite warm because we are putting heat to try to warm up the place. So when the place gets warm like this, the water also gets warm. But you want the water to be fresh and cool, not as warm. So you need to make sure you keep replacing it. Don't leave it simply because it's present in the drinkers. No. Once it's 12 hours, so let's say 10 a.m., 10 p.m., make sure you replace the drinkers because remember the lights are going to be on the entire day, the entire night. You want the chicks to be continuously feeding, continuously drinking. If the birds are not feeding, if the birds are not drinking, then you're compromising the gain of weight on the birds. I can even see that the feathers have already started developing on some of the birds. I picked out one bird and can be seen right here. Yes, you can see some feathers, the wing feathers developing on this bird. Beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. So I'll put her down. So you need to make sure that you don't compromise the growth of the birds. Make sure that there is consistent lighting, consistent heating, so that the birds, instead of eating, they're not crumbling together looking for warmth. Make sure there is food, make sure there is water. So we've made sure that we have our drinkers cleaned, provided with water that has glucose in it. Then we can see our birds feeding. You can see them all running towards me. They love me. Yeah, well, they love human voices. And you can see them feeding. So you can see our feeder plate over there. That's why we place our pelleted feed. But the other thing we did is disperse the feed on the floor. So you see feed on the floor when the birds move away. Yeah, let me clear them. You can see feed all around the floor. And of course it looks like it's wasted food, but it's not wasted food because as you can see, the birds have left, for example, that area over there where we have feed. If I zoom in, you see that whole interior area, we have plates with feed. Now they have started running over there. And then they're all surrounding me around here. Yeah. So, oh, by the way, you can see the birds clamping under the stove over there. Right? And it's because I've opened the curtain. So there's a bit of cold air coming in, which is not ideal. As soon as we close it up, they'll get dispersed again. But yes, so since the birds, won't just be looking for feed on the plates, you need to make sure that anywhere the birds step, for example, let's zoom in there. You can see birds picking the food from the ground. You see them? Yeah? They are picking the food from the ground. So you want to make sure that anywhere the birds step, anywhere the birds stand and look, there is feed. You're increasing the chances of the birds eating the feed by making sure that the feed is present on the feeders. And also, that's the advantage of having pelleted feed. If it was mash feed, then the nutrients and things like that, you can't put mash feed on the floor. Well, you can, but most of it won't be picked up because the micronutrients and the small tiny minerals, they won't be picked up by the birds because they leave them on the floor. The pelleted feed, they pick up the entire particle and it has everything inside. So that's the advantage of giving pelleted feed over the first few days to the birds. The other thing that we can see is that the Bruder pepper is quite dirty. You can see the poop, but that's not a big issue. Having poop on the Bruder pepper is not a big issue because it dries. You see, it dries, yeah? It dries, and that's the advantage of the Bruder pepper. It takes up all the moisture, all the water, and then you'll have just the dry matter remaining. And that's not going to remain for a long time. After 4 days, maybe 5 days, I'm going to remove all this Buddha pepper because the birds will have attained enough weight and they'll have figured out what the feed is. Right now when they run inside here, the place gets really, really loud because of the pepper. Once we remove the Buddha pepper, it will be quiet and nice. Quiet and nice. Of course, you can see that on this side of the house, we have a bit more feed. For some reason, the birds prefer the other side of the house. But right here, you can see that we have a bit more feed on the floor. You can see all the birds now running around me again. Look at all of them coming. Beautiful sight. Wow. Beautiful sight. All the birds running towards me. It's understandable that the birds have a preferred side, which is the other side. When they do choose to come this side, well, they'll find the food present. So we just make sure that there is food present so that we don't have any issues with growth and mortalities. All right, guys, so I'm now done inconveniencing the birds. We'll move and put our curtains down so that they get their warmth back up, okay? The drafts are not nice. Drafts are the cold spots inside the chicken house. So you can see that I used sticks to support the tarpaulin. I'll just, okay, so we have this back down and another spot is here. Okay, just remove the stick and we are back. So our tarpaulin is back down. It's certainly way darker inside there, but it's the problem is not the darkness. The problem is that the color of the light is actually red because of the darkness outside. So hopefully our solar panels have actually, you know, given us a bit of enough light because as you can see, it's a cloudy day. It hasn't been a good day, but well, it's 2 batteries. They're actually quite weak. Yeah, I noticed last night, but well, they should be able to do the work for the night. Shouldn't be a very, very big worry. So I'm confident that we shall have enough light to take us through the night. So tell me what you guys think about our day 2. It's going nicely, very uneventful. We have some trees that we're going to be planting around, by the way. I'll show them to you. This is a channel that was built to take the water away because when it rains, a lot of water comes by. And these are our trees, about 200 of them. I'm going to plant them all around the property. 3 acres, but well, the number of trees is quite a lot. So I'm going to plant trees all along the edges of the property and even along the path coming inside to make sure that the place is well shaded and that we have enough windbreakers. There'll be good trees. They'll certainly take some time to grow, but well, better than nothing or better than not planting them. Tell me what you think about the project in the comment section below. And I would love to know, you who is watching, are you actually a poultry farmer? Quite curious to know whether the people who actually watch the channel are just interested or they are poultry farmers, whether you actually just plan on going into farming or you're a farmer, or you're not interested, you just love watching my videos. Tell me in the comment section below. I would love to know. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash the notification bell, that way you never miss out on an upload. Lots of love. Bye-bye.